So to our second semi-final after the disappointment of Jochen Fischer having to withdraw in that second game of the mixed doubles. It's women's singles and it's the defending champion Wang Xin, the #1 seed, the left-hander, up against the new world #1, promoted back to the #1 spot, Wang Yihan. There's the defending champion, 25-year-old from Liaoning province in China. Wang Yihan this week back to #1 in the world, where she spent an awful lot of last year, almost exactly a year at world #1. Not surprising when you consider that in 2009 reached 8 finals, winning 7 titles. No question who the best player in the world was at that stage. One of those titles in 2009 was the All England Championships, which she won unseeded, defeating the then defending champion Tina Baun from Denmark. But last year, the result of that All England final was reversed. The same two players reached the final, but the Dane won in 2010. So the #1 seed, the defending champion, Wang Xin, up against Wang Yihan, the #3 seed in this all-Chinese women's singles semi-final. Wang Xin tough second round match for Wang Xin against Wang Muchu. 3 games needed to secure that one. Her world rankings dropped down to #3, as you can see, down 1 place from last week, playing her first tournament of the year, because of course she finished the Super Series of 2010 ranked #3 on the Super Series list. But the rules for the finals say that only 2 players per country are able to take part in the finals, and therefore it was this lady who finished the year 2010 #1, equal #1 on the Super Series list, and therefore she competed in the Super Series finals, but lost in the semi-final a couple of weeks ago. Lost out to Bei Yongju, who's the player she lost to in the semi-final of this event last year. So our umpire service judge once again neutral for this new Chinese match. Now, as far as Wang Yihan is concerned, she really has been looking in tremendous form so far at this Malaysian Open. All of her 3 previous matches won in 2 straight games. And as you can see, these 2 players have met each other 3 times previously, and all 3 going in favour of Wang Yihan. The last time they met was in the semi-final of the All England Championships last year. Only once has it gone the full distance when these 2 players have met. That was in the semi-final of the Hong Kong Open in 2009. Other occasions, the tall lady from Shanghai, Wang Yihan, has won in 2 straight games. So Ian, this should be interesting. We've got 2 athletes here, obviously very fine athletes, but very different body shapes. Wang Yihan, very tall athlete, whereas the left-hander that we're looking at, only 1.66 m, that's about 5'5".
Yes, we've got a nice clash of styles in this match, actually. Wang Xin, the retriever, likes to play on the counter-attack, very reactive. Wang Yihan likes to dictate the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my
Likes
right,
to get
Wang
control,
Xin,
likes to
China.
use her height to bring the shuttle down
on my
steeply.
left,
She's got some good
Wang
angles.
Yihan, China.
So
Wang
it
Xin to
should
serve,
get an
love or play.
So Wang Yihan, the new world #1, nearest to us with the yellow shirt. Defending champion Wang Xin, the left-hander. Just missed it.
Yeah, maybe that's a sign of things to come. Maybe Wang Xin realises she's got to be more aggressive, having lost the previous 3 games against her opponent.
Ball. Service over. 1-2.
New racket required. Yes, this is very much a courtesy amongst badminton players that you allow your opponent just to test out the new racket. A couple of quick hits.
And that's a favourite play of the left-hander there. She likes that centre attack when she intercepts on the forehand side. That's something we can watch out for during this game.
Service over. 3-2. Service over. 3-all.
Yeah, of course, she can create such wonderful angles using her height, Wang Yihan.
Yes, I think we'll see a lot of those types of rally. Wang Yihan looking for the attack and Wang Xin trying to manoeuvre her opponent around the court and force mistakes. Interesting with Wang Xin as well. She's playing a tall attacking player, but she wants to try and impose a high service game. She's served high so far, which is quite interesting. And again, that centre attack from the forehand wing, she really favours that tactic. Yeah, Wang Yihan, I think, forgetting that she's playing a left-hander there. She should know well enough, trains with her every day, but she's pushing up that forehand side, and Wang Xin, centre attack.
Yes, in fact, 2 of the top Chinese players, left-handers, and they all train together every day. The other one, of course, is Yang Jiao. Just long of the back line. Of course, Ian, I was talking about the fact that Wang Yihan last year was world #1, and as world #1, didn't get selected for the Asian Games. 4 singles players went to the Asian Games representing China in the women's singles, but world #1 wasn't one of them because she hadn't won all of her China League matches, and head coach Lee Yongbo said that she had to start proving herself again, which I publicly said was a little harsh when she's still world #1 and won so many international tournaments. But psychologically, what sort of effect do you think that's had on Wang Yihan? Here she is, she's back at world #1. Has she proved her point?
I think only Lee Yongbo can answer that, but I think it was a little bit A little bit to do with the Uber Cup performance as well, of course. China in that shock defeat in the final to Korea when Wang Yihan lost the first game that gave Korea so much momentum in that match. And I think Lee Yongbo was just showing that anybody can be dropped, and particularly when they've had a poor performance playing for China.
Yes, of course, Wang Yihan lost out to Bei Seong-hee. And that was the start of China's demise in this very stadium, on this very court.
I do feel sometimes with some of the Chinese players, though, that some of their young girls in particular over the last 3 or 4 years have got to that #1 spot quite quickly. When they're young, it's all fun, it's great, and suddenly they do feel that pressure of getting to #1, and they haven't really developed the tools to deal with that. You know, they're young, they're up and coming, and suddenly they're faced with being the favourite going into all these big events. It can be very tough to deal with, and sometimes it takes players time to stabilise in that position. And I tend to agree with you, it's a little bit harsh, because I think she is probably the most talented of the Chinese girls at the moment.
Oh, that's very clever.
A good example of that talent. We won't see any deceptive plays like that from Wang Xin, I don't think, but Wang Yihan's got a lot of variety. Forced into the rear court, coming in, hold and flick. You see Wang Xin moving forward, anticipating the net. Good peripheral vision from Wang Yihan, flicking over her head.
Yeah, good spatial awareness there as well to leave that one. Knew it was going to go wide.
We're going to see here, she prepares so early, she's ready.
Oh, but that's nice. Addressing the shuttle early.
7-9.
Just guiding the shuttle down across court into the open space. Not trying to do anything fancy with it. Yeah, and again.
8-9.
Yeah, Wang Yihan just guilty of pushing maybe too many shuttles up the forehand side there. Certainly Wang Xin is a lot stronger up that forehand wing. She's got a decent straight smash and a good cross net, as we've seen, but also that centre smash for variety. Hasn't got quite so much variety from the other side of the court.
9-0.
Well, a run of 3 straight points, and the defending champion back level.
Yeah, and that time Wang Xin anticipating the flick.
Oh dear, that's a simple error, unforced error
9.
from the world #1.
Service over. 10-all.
Well, the error on the smash there
11-10.
from Wang Xin means that Wang Yihan has the narrowest of possible margins at the mid-game interval. 23-year-old turned 23 4 days ago. Be a nice way to celebrate her birthday, wouldn't it? Back on the winning trail. Now, of course, because 2 Chinese players playing against each other, no coaching staff involved.
Wang Yihan.
Players left to their own devices. Wang Yihan always wears that back support. Protective measure, I think, rather than a new injury. So 11-10, opening game. That's a lovely angle, lovely disguise as well.
Yes, just cutting across the shuttle, bringing it down with a little slice. It's a full swing, but she's hitting half of the shuttle and bringing it down steeply. Well, certainly Wang Xin's trying to be a lot more aggressive than we would normally expect to see from her. She's trying to surprise her opponent, and she is using the smash a lot more than we would normally see. And so far, she's well in this game.
Over. 30-11.
There's the angled shot once again. Straight slice doing the damage.
Service over. 12-30.
Yeah, outmaneuvered the left-hander. Pushed her to the back, then brought her forward. She's having to take an extra step forward towards the net. That means her recovery is slightly slow. And then the powerful smash from Wang Yihan.
Service over. 30-40.
Just wide.
Service over. 15-30.
A little bit lucky Wang Yihan again, just pushing up a little bit too flat up the forehand wing, and that was a real chance for Wang Xin.
No, she was going for the straight slice again.
40-50.
Yes.
Service over. 16-40.
Pushing the left-hander to the back, pushing her from side to side, first down the forehand side, then brought her to the backhand, and the final smash down the forehand side yet again. Pushed it long.
Service over.
She'd done all the hard work, Wang Yihan.
Yes, she's not using a lot of net so far in this match, which is a little bit surprising. I would have thought technically she'd have an advantage in the front court over Wang Xin.
Now it's over. 17-15.
Never been more than 3 points separating these two players throughout this opening game.
Now it's over. 16-17.
Yeah, that's a good length from Wang Xin, and I don't think that shot was really on from there.
Yeah, good
Now
aggression.
it's over.
You have to question, Ian, about the high serve. When she's been attacked like that.
Yes, it's a tactic Wang Xin likes to use. She likes to use the high serve and start in that low base position. But against the tall Wang Yihan with so much variety in attack, it's quite a dangerous tactic.
Perhaps running out of patience with her attacking play. Surprised that Wang Yihan kept the shuttle coming back. Or maybe because it's just an alien style for Wang Xin to play so many attacking shots in a rally. No mistake this time. Same tactics.
Yes, but again, Wang Yihan guilty of going a little bit too flat up the forehand wing, really. Wang Xin's taking those shuttles very early and creating good pressure at that forehand wing. So far, Wang Yihan's persisting with the tactic of playing there. And this time it's Wang Xin guilty of playing a little bit too flat. Getting the shuttle over her opponent and giving Wang Yihan the opportunity to intercept the shuttle mid-court.
And now the opportunity to close out the opening game. Well, called good by the line judge. Wang Yihan doesn't like the call. And Ian, by the looks of things, you agree with Wang Yihan.
Well, our position's right behind that line, and I have to say first instinct was that was out.
Well, she converts on her second opportunity. So the line call becomes academic. Because Wang Yihan, the new world number one, has secured the opening game, 21-18 in 19 minutes of play.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
So having secured that opening game, Wang Yihan, the number 3 seed, 21-18 the scoreline. Yeah, and of course that's the problem for any singles player when you play cross-court. If your opponent reads it and gets it back, all you have to do is a straight block, and then you're left with scampering the full diagonal of the court, the longest distance. Quite often, as Wang Xin did, on that occasion, you play yourself into trouble.
Now it's over. 1-all.
Shuttle deflected by the net cord there. Women's doubles players who will be in action later. Yu Yang.
Now it's over.
Yes, and Wang Xin persisting with the tactic of trying to keep the shuttle down, trying to stay aggressive in the game. Just guilty of forcing a little bit in one or two of these points, going cross when she's off balance.
Service over. 3-2.
Yes. Good smash to end the rally, but it should really set it up with some good hard pushes from the front of the court. Yes, another good smash.
Yes, not the game I was expecting really, Jill, but it's Wang Xin who's trying to be the more aggressive player, which is against a normal style, and Wang Yihan, a little bit worried about Wang Xin's speed, really not using the net as much as I would have expected her to. She's a very skillful player around the forecourt, but in this game she wants to keep pushing Wang Xin to the rear court, so just strange tactics, probably born out of familiarity, I would say, training together on a regular basis.
Now it's over. 3-6.
Two of the Chinese coaches. And Jin on the right.
Now it's over. 7-3.
The margins between success and failure at this elite level. Absolutely tiny. That sat on the top of the net, had a little look, said no, going to fall back the same side.
Now it's over. 4-7. Five, 7.
Two courts in action here, of course, on semi-finals day. And that one wide, there's one or two errors creeping into the game. I guess both players so acutely aware. Oh dear, yeah, ice being applied to the knee of Jochen Fischer. He had to pull out of that first semi-final in the second game. Hit it long. I was going to say, in both players are so aware of the other's capability of retrieving the shuttle that they feel they've got to hit the lines to play the winners.
Yes, and in defence, neither player wants to let their opponent come into that net position, so a lot of drive defence. And
6-9.
the two Chinese players, really, the court is not that big in this match, I have to say. A lot of drive defence, a lot of attack. Front corner's really not being used that much. Even the rear two corners not being used as much as you would normally expect to see.
And what on earth happened there? Wang Xin just seemed to stop moving, having played the shot, the smash. And that's right into the corner.
10-7.
Yeah, we're not seeing many long rallies. I thought we'd see very, very long, hard-fought rallies. And both of them are really going for their winners. They're not listening to us, are they, Ian? As soon as I say there's no long rallies, they produce certainly the longest rally of this second game.
And again, quite surprised Wang Yihan there, using the cross drive onto the Wang Xin forehand, which seems a very strange tactic. Giving Wang Xin the easy opportunity with the straight smash.
Of course, Wang Xin was expected to win the Asian Games. In Guangzhou, lost out to her teammate Wang Shixian. Silver medal also, of course, at the World Championships last year in Paris. Lost out to Wang Lin, who very sadly, in the very next tournament that she played, the China Masters, had a career-threatening injury, ruptured an anterior cruciate ligament in her knee. And we certainly all wish her well of a speedy and full recovery. Good judgment.
Service over. 10-11.
Yeah.
11 out.
And again, it's the drive defence rather than the block defence.
So into the lead in the second game for the first time since the opening rally. Or the first point of this second game.
Wang Yihan there going quicker to the round the head corner, the backhand corner of Wang Xin, and getting the mistake. I do feel in this match he's forced too many shuttles up the forehand side of Wang Xin, where Wang Xin's been very strong and produced a lot of winning smashes.
Well, you've got your wish about the net shots now. Lunging forward, that's a perfect example of what you were describing earlier with Wang Yihan's ability to reach out, take the shuttle early and play these tight spinning net shots. Run of 5 straight points now for Wang Yihan. make that 6.
Yeah, it's interesting, Jill, isn't it, that both players would be used to having a coach coming on to give them 1 or 2 words of advice, and when it's a China v China match, of course, there are no coaches, and it's sometimes interesting in these matches to see which player's able to deal with that situation the best. Certainly Wang Yihan used the break to good effect there to calm herself down, refocus, and Wang Xin's really not got a game going since the break.
No, and Wang Yihan has won every rally since that mid-game interval. All 7 points. Oof. Well, that was called wide, and again, you and I are in a perfect position looking down that line. I have to say I was surprised by that call yet again.
Yeah, but the rally itself was much more of a Wang Xin type rally, using the rear court quickly and then using the slower drops to the front court to bring Wang Yihan in. And that looked more the type of tactic I thought we'd see from Wang Xin in this match.
Yes, I often think that Wang Yihan is a little bit vulnerable when you switch attacking play from one side to the other. Yeah, attack down the backhand side first and then down the forehand.
Service over. 17-14.
Oh, that's a good shot.
Service over. 15-17.
Yeah, a little bit of frustration beginning to show now with Wang Xin. Because the number 3 seed is just 3 points away from a place in the final.
And there we see Wang Xin using the net for once, and not very surprising that Wang Yihan, after the way Wang Xin's used the back corners, was on the back foot there.
And it's called good. Well, once again, I don't think Wang Yihan in particular are agreement with the line judge. Different line judge, of course. Oh, I thought that was in. Good call. Oh my goodness, what a serve. So loose. That was going to go long.
Maybe that's why she uses the high serve so much.
Yeah.
17.
Doesn't look very confident serving short there at all.
Service over. 18-19.
Yeah, again, that low serve attacked relatively easily by Wang Yihan. And she's earned herself 2 match points. Good aggressive play, and Wang Yihan who celebrated her birthday earlier this week, who celebrated regaining the world #1 spot earlier this week, can celebrate once more because she's through to the final of the Malaysia Open, the first of the OSIM BWF World Superseries events for 2011. Never been in this final previously. And there's confirmation of the score. Just 35 minutes needed for her victory. 21-18. 21-18. And she has dethroned the champion from a year ago.